Cancer, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, and asthma are all examples of non-communicable diseases, and sadly, these diseases are the leading cause of death globally. But do they really affect us here in Africa? And are Africans really living with these diseases? Find out here at the African NCD Champions podcast as we share incredible stories of Africans living with non-communicable diseases. My name is Ogweno Stephen and I'll be your host. Let's roll. Interesting. So, how have you managed to live with stroke all of these years, and what challenges have you faced along the way, especially as you continue to grow with it now that you actually got it from a very, very early stage?
Okay, as a youth, first I told you I had to accept it. It is me that has it. It is me that live with it. So I had to accept it. I thank God for my family. My family always tell people that Rose is not sick. Yes, because I can go outside there, I can bring food like any other person. Yes, so I had to accept it, I had to learn, and I had to go deeper to know more all about stroke. Since I have it, there is a time I didn't know about it, but this time that I've known it, I had to go in, know all about stroke, and accept to sit down and be taught. Yes, especially with Dr. Sungu. Yes, he always teach us about stroke. He always tell us how the food that you should eat. You don't just eat any food that you come across with. No. So he always tell us, especially the food that we need to eat. Something that you need to put in your body. Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And that brings me to a very interesting question. Would you say that, what would you say is the importance of educating other people about, stroke and about diets and about lifestyle? Would you say that that is a key component that everybody should learn about, and why would you say that?
Okay, I would say that because one, let me talk about food. When you go back the old ages of our parents, most of them, they are strong even till now. Why? Because they used to eat foods from the gardens, foods that they have been gardened.
They've planted them themselves.
Yes, themselves. But come these days, we have to cook food. We have to put salad for you to see the food. It's presentable.
You want to see it shiny.
Yes, shiny
and oily.
Most of people don't want to eat. Let me use the cassavas, the ndumas, but they want to eat breads. But come to think of it, bread has been processed. It has so many things inside it. But with cassavas, it's natural. It's natural. Yes, it has nothing inside it. You can boil it and eat. Even besides putting the salt, you can eat it. But with the bread, it has salt. It has the sugar.
And the fat as well.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, let's go back. Let's go back to that generation of our. We always call them the old mamas and the old babas. Yes. So let's go back to them. Let's think and know why are they strong? Why is it that they used they were not used to become sick? It's something that
it's fascinating how they've survived for that long.
For us, they survived, but for us, you can get Rose has a stroke. Why? She was young, and many people ask, do children get stroke? Yes, they do.
And you're an example of that.
Yeah. I tell them they do. So, eat well. Do exercise. Exercise yourself. Learn to do therapy. Therapy helps. I can tell through my experience. One of my parts, the right part. Yes, I was paralyzed. I wasn't walking. I couldn't do anything by myself. But through the therapist, my hand, I can lift my hand. I can lift my leg. Just because I followed my mom followed the instructions from the doctors. Yes.
Yeah, so which really emphasizes on the importance of therapy as well. You know?
Yes.
Once you have stroke, you need to get that and follow the instructions as given.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, in terms of sort of advices and parting shots out there, especially when you look at policymakers, other people living with NCDs, and the community in general, what would your advice be, or what suggestions would you give to such people?
Okay, first and foremost, I would talk about the government. Why? Because they're the key people.
They are key people.
So I'll talk about them. One, we people with stroke, most of us, or not even stroke, even diabetic, even those other diseases, we need medicine. But these medicines are so expensive. Most of us don't. It's not easy to get them. I think it's better for the government. When other people buy the medicines with high amount, at least they should share for us.
They subsidize it.
Let them bring it down for everyone to get. The other thing, there are schools. You find out that Rose has a stroke and it's a severe stroke. I can't go to school. I can't do anything. At least if they could come up with an idea of bringing these people together. I think even if I don't go to school, I have that severe knee stroke, but here there is something that I can do. So even if they can bring up teachers, train them on the special cases, I think that would be better.
So that everybody gets access to that education.
Yes, and more so the caregivers who live with these people. Yes.
They also need to be educated.
Yes, if they can educate the caregivers, we are good to go. Yeah.
Interesting. General people, what would you tell them about staying healthy, about stroke, and also how they could avoid it if they could? What would you say to them as someone who's already living with it?
Okay, first and foremost, do your exercise. Secondly, eat well. Yes, eat well. Follow good instructions from the therapist. Don't ignore the therapist. Don't ignore the therapist because they are the key people. Yes, when you ignore, just know that it's like when you ignore your father, whatever he's telling you, you will go astray. So it's good to follow what they are saying
to the letter.
Yes, because I believe when you follow up with them, you will know that, Ama, you will realize that one day you have gone afar, of which you didn't know that you would go. Yes, you will go a step ahead, of which you want to go back. Yes. Yeah.
All right. I guess that's a very good way to sort of end the conversation today. On the point that you need to eat well, you need to get your exercises done, you need to get medical checkups. But once you're sick, you also need to follow the doctors and the therapist's instructions to the letter, because with your example, you are now able to walk. You walked yourself in. You're able to use both your hands. You've recovered nicely. So I guess that is the critical lesson that people should learn today. And thank you very much for agreeing to be hosted on the platform.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and maybe one day we get to record you actually acting and share that with the audience as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And yeah, this was a good one.
Thank you.
All right. Now that was incredible. Thank you for listening in. Share this with your networks and follow us on all social media at Storelink and at NCD Champions. See you on the next one.